Traveling can be so stressful on your body, whether you're going on business or even for a vacation, for fun. It is so stressful on your body. You know how when you're super excited because you're going to go on vacation, but there's so much stress in getting prepared for it. And then when you start traveling, you don't anticipate things like you got a headache, or you got constipated, or you have a kinked neck. All these things just come up, right? So how can we prepare for those and make sure that you have everything in your repertoire so that when you get there, you're all stocked and things go smoothly and you can have the energy you want, you can enjoy the process, you can deal with the hecticness, and you can even deal with the toxic air in the airports, right? There's so many things that happen when we travel that can really disrupt your health. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the things that I now do. I think I finally dialed it in. So I'm going to share those with you. And I do a lot of things. You don't have to do them all, but pick a few things that you like. Now here's the fun part. I use something called the health grid, which helps me stay organized on my day-to-day, but it also helps me stay organized when I'm planning my trips. Because there's a lot to think about, right? So here's how it goes. In the health grid, it's organized under food, fitness, family fun, and freedom. So when I'm planning my trips, I think about what are the food that I need if I had to stay in my hotel room, or if I didn't have access to healthy food, or maybe the restaurants were too crowded. You know, I see so many people at the airport standing in line at Starbucks and Pete's. The line is so long. I'm like, how do they do that? They're going to miss their plane. So you always want to be prepared in the event you're crunched for time or you're not feeling so great. Now food is a little harder to obviously travel with, but some of the things you can take is bone broth. I found these wonderful little hummus packs, and you can get a little bag of crackers. These are great to take as well. And of course, you can get a bulk of nuts. Some packages of nuts is very important to have with you. The other thing that I keep on hand, and I don't always eat them, but they're there, is beef jerky sticks. So let me tell you, so for example, when I was flying, my flight got canceled. So we had to go to a hotel. And I heard people really struggling with, they were hungry and they needed, I guess, food vouchers or something, but the line was so long and it was getting so late. So I had these as a backup and I had my bone broth. I was never worried about being sent to a hotel late at night. It was totally fine. When you get to your destination, first thing you want to do, find a store, ideally a health food store, a Sprouts or Whole Foods, something like that, and stock up on water. But one thing I do take is like a salad that I can eat on the airplane when I'm going to my destination. That's really important. Even if it's a short flight, it's important because when you get to your destination, you're going to have to find a restaurant. You don't know where you're at, so that can be kind of stressful as well. So I usually grab a salad or a wrap, something that I can eat on the airplane or when I get to my destination. Also, I like to pack my supplements. I have these little baggies, and I usually write on them before I even fill them up. This one says sleepy. So this had my sleepy gummies with melatonin, and then I have my bags of tea. When you're on the airplane, you can always ask for hot water for your tea. I take a protein pack for each day. Every morning I have my protein powder because, again, restaurants are very stressful. It's hard to deal with the lines or the crowds when you're eating breakfast. So I always make sure I have a protein powders in the morning so that if I can't get to a restaurant, I'm already well nourished. But then if I do get to a restaurant, it's totally fine. Okay, so I have my protein powders. On the health grid, the next section, so we talked about food. That's food and water. The next section is fitness. What are you going to do when you're on your trip to make sure, not that you have to go to a gym. Your hotel may have a gym, and I used to think that I had to go to the gym to exercise, but in reality, the best thing that works is to exercise right in your hotel room. Just roll out a towel, do push-ups, lunges, abdominal crunches, and some stretching and some mobility exercises. I also bring along a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball to help. You know how when you're sitting on the airplane and your back's getting tight, you can just grab this thing, put it on your back, and just work out that soft tissue area, work out those tight spots. You can also use it on the floor when you get to your hotel room because chances are if you've been on an airplane, your hips are tight, your back is tight, your traps are tight, and this is going to be great. One other thing I like to bring, this is Deep Blue from doTERRA. This is awesome because you can just roll this on if you have a sore neck, sore back. And then, of course, you want to get outside and walk. Every day you want to walk. Even if you're at a long conference, there's always a break. Try to get outside, take some deep breaths, go for walks, and even move your body. Your body just wants movement. You've been stiff in the airport, stiff sitting wherever you're going, stiff while you're sitting in the conference. Your body wants to move. So you want to incorporate that into your day. And then the next area is, so it's food, fitness, family. Think about this. At home, things are a little disruptive also because you're not there. What can you do to help ease that for them? Just a simple morning text. Good morning. Hope you have a great day. Love you. I'll be at a conference all day. I won't be able to reply as quickly. They like to know, if you let them know in advance that you'll be in a conference, you're not going to be able to check in as often, they'll appreciate that. You are not going to be able to fix their problems from your destination, so let go of the guilt. Let them figure it out. Don't forget that that's their learning experience. Learning how to be independent of you is so important. And then you can carry on your day without guilt. And the next thing to think about when you're traveling is fun, right? So fun is a state of mind, and it means just stopping what you're doing and noticing your new environment. I was at a restaurant, and it was a beautiful restaurant, and we were out in the patio, and there was this rabbit, this little bunny with no tail. Like, it didn't even have a stub. It was just no tail. And it's bouncing around in the bushes, which was right next to the tables. Nobody was noticing. We just need to stop and notice. And it was so fun just to watch the bunny just bounce around the restaurant. Those are the kind of things you want to notice when you're on a trip. Talk to people more. Say more hellos when you're on your trip. Discover this new place. Become curious. Make it fun. And then the final category on my health grid is freedom. What do you need to do to make sure that your soul, your spirit, and your mind is free? For some of you, that might mean taking a walk in nature. For others, just taking 5 minutes to read your Bible or to pray. And just being free to laugh more, smile more, allow yourself to just enjoy where you're at. Your body wants to be free also. And what happens when you're traveling? It's awful, right? When you're constipated. Here you're planning this wonderful vacation and you feel bloated. Traveling is just disruptive to your body. How can we avoid some of these things like being constipated, being bloated, having headaches, the tightness of how your body feels when you're in an airplane, being hungry? What can you do? So here's a few things that I do to free my body from these things. I don't like being constipated when I'm on a trip, so I always carry Triphala with me. You can use Sagrada, Triphala. These are just herbs that really help you go to the bathroom, and drinking lots of water. If you get headaches, yes, of course, a small pack of Tylenol or whatever you use for headaches as a backup. But one thing that I know that traveling does to your head, it's the disruption in the hydration and the temperature and the elevation can give you a headache. Also, just being stuck or carrying heavy suitcases or whatever. What helps me with headaches is some salt. I usually carry a little bit of sea salt, and you could just put a little bit on your tongue, and that can relieve headaches because it allows your brain to get the hydration that it needs, that it's struggling with when you're traveling. Of course, you have to have Deep Blue with you or some sort of cream to help relieve any tension, and then a ball to work out knots while you're on an airplane or when you get to your destination. That frees up the soft tissue. You want to free up your joints, your muscles, the soft tissue that gets tight and holds on to stress. It's so important to have something to help you fall asleep because there's nothing worse than struggling to fall asleep when you've got to get up early in the morning, right? I have these sleepy gummies. They're melatonin sleepy gummies that work wonders and help me fall asleep. And this is really important. Don't forget a container. This is a Contigo container that I got at Target. Here's what's great about this container is this lid has a lock button. So when you fill it up, you throw it in your bag, it's not going to spill because it's locked. Also, it has a wide open mouth. So you can fill it up with water and you can stir your protein, stir all your different drinks. So a container is really, really important when you're traveling. One other secret weapon that I take with me on my travels is a binder. This is actually a Quicksilver binder. That's the brand of it, Quicksilver. A binder is like charcoal, something that helps absorb any poisons or just toxins in your system, because it's awful when you have indigestion when you're traveling. So I usually drink these at night away from supplements or away from food, because it's going to help absorb some of those yucky poisons or toxins and get rid of that bloated feeling and that indigestion. I'll put the information to all these things we talked about in the description. So happy travels. I hope that helps.